What is going on, guys? I'm Aaron of This Week in MLS, and welcome to a different type of video. So, as you guys know, this past week, I was invited out to Columbus, Ohio, for the Lower.com Field Stadium opening, which I was very stoked about. Obviously, it is the new home of the Columbus Crew. They faced off against New England Revolution on July 3rd, and what an atmosphere it was. But in today's video, I'll be just telling you about my whole entire experience with the club, being in the Nordecke section, and also just Columbus in general. It was my first time in Ohio, so without further ado, let's just head right into it. So let's start things off with how this video is gonna work, because I originally was gonna do a typical, like David Dobrik, like, oh, we out here, and I tried to do that in the airport in LA with my best friend Max, and it was just too cringy for me to handle. What is going on, guys? I'm your Let's of This Week in MLS, and we are heading to Columbus right now. Bruh. So we're doing the video this way, and I think this is more, you to me speaking, I guess.
That
Anyways, we get to the plane ride. First of all, we took Spirit Airlines, and it was surprisingly very nice. Cup noodles on the plane, can't complain about that. However, there was one complaint I did have on the plane, and it was the person sitting behind me. There was this British woman talking the entire plane with her kids. She definitely had a few drinks, but it's weird because at first we were very annoyed about her, my friend Max and I. And as she kept talking, she kept revealing certain things. The kid got in trouble, and she was like, if you don't stop, you can't go to the match tomorrow. So we started to connect little dots. She mentioned that her husband's an athlete, and we're like, whoa, what if this guy plays for the Columbus Crew? We would probably know who he is. And she keeps talking, she's British, so keep that in mind. And she talks about how her husband played in LA last year, now she plays for Columbus, and I was like, dude, this is Bradley Wright Phillips' wife.
Every clash we've had, you've been slumped. If you're being honest, you know that I've won. It's pride keeping you in a battle that's done.
And it turns out it was. We didn't say hi or anything, it was just so crazy. And anyways, also on the way back home, we were on the same plane as her again, so that was pretty cool. Anyways, first night in Columbus, we're staying at the Graduate Hotel, which is very nice. Shout out to the Nordecke for hooking me up with that rate. And it was on High Street, which is like the big street in Columbus. It leads all the way up to Ohio State. And speaking of the Graduate, it was Ohio State themed. That was really cool. The first night, my boy Max and I would go to this very nice Italian restaurant. It looked really cool. The waitresses were lovely, and so lovely that I ended up just being a complete idiot to them. So we're getting our checks at the end, and I want to give the waitress a nice tip because she was great. She gave us recommendations on what to do in Columbus. I was going to give her a tip, and I asked, hey, can I put a tip on this? And she was like, yeah, she was all confused, and my stupid ass forgot that, when you get the check back the second time, that's when you add the tip. Anyway, so when she brings back the check the second time, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry for being such a head ass. I just am one sometimes. But as I say that, I look at my check and I accidentally left my hotel key card on the freaking check and gave it to her by accident.
Boy, if you don't...
So that's just a funny moment. High Street was great, except for the first night. We saw a hit and run take place, which is pretty wild and something I've never seen before, but at the same time, made me feel kind of at home because I'm from LA, and that's the vibe. Ooh.
That's nasty.
Anyways, that's a good transition into Saturday when everything happened. Oh, by the way, at the airport, Cheyenne at Between Cleat Sheets picked my boy Max and I up and took us to the field briefly, and lovely human being. She's gonna make a vlog as well, so make sure you go check that out. And she's just a great content creator and great human being, so it was nice to finally meet her in person for the first time. But anyways, we get to Saturday. Max and I, we hit up a local coffee spot. It was gas. It was straight gas. And then we walk up and down High Street. We saw Nina West Boulevard. We saw a bunch of old type of restaurants. We also saw a ton of beer. I mean, if there's one way to describe Columbus, it's beer. And that was pretty sick, even though I'm not 21 yet. It was just cool to see everyone excited, happy, living life. But all throughout High Street, we saw a lot of yellow and black checkered stuff, like the Crew logo, of course. And that was really sick. At around noon, we start to head to the Matchday festivities, which was really hyped. So we meet a bunch of the Nordecke supporters at this bar, but it's not really a bar. Think like any frozen yogurt place, but replace the yogurt with beer taps. It was really cool looking. I couldn't drink, but it was awesome just to take a look at that. And you know, we met up with Jason Davis, who is someone I work for. I work on the Best Soccer Show with him, and he is just a legend. He is so fun to be with. And me, him, Max, and Cheyenne, we got some food real quick. We visited the beer place, we got some food, then we went back. And when we got back, it started to get packed with the Nordecke supporters and just crew families, adults. And there was there was some music bumping. And eventually, a man by the name of, Zach Steffen pulls up to the place, and he was great. It was so funny because everyone was wearing their yellow and black, and then we got Zach Steffen here in his Balenciaga t-shirt. You know, that Man City money coming through, I guess. Zach was a legend. We took a photo with him, which I'll drop right here. And he follows This Week in MLS, so shout out to him for being just an absolute GOAT. He is #1 in my heart, of course. But as he gets there, then the guys with the drums come up and the leaders of the supporters group get there, and we start to march. We march from this place all the way to the stadium. It was about like 2 miles, but that was honestly my favorite part of the entire trip. Just getting ingrained with the fan base there, and I love chanting the chants. I mean, it's why we love soccer. It's why we love Major League Soccer in the first place. We get to lower.com field. It is beautiful. I go to the store because, you know, I got to hook myself up with some merch. And I copped this crew jersey. It was actually the last jersey my size because of how crazy packed it was. I mean, everyone wanted to get something on the opening match. So I got this, you know, MLS Cup, Darlington Nagbees on the back. I'm not going to turn around and embarrass myself here.
This is great banter.
But it was great. I got my mom a shirt. She's a huge Jossie Zardes fan, so I got her a Jossie Zardes shirt. And then we get to our seats. Jason and Cheyenne saved Max and I a spot on the 4th row of the Nordecke, and it was insane. And the whole stadium was packed. Everyone gave away. I'm actually gonna get this. Everyone received these flags, and they were just waving them throughout the stadium. Everyone was so hyped, and the match starts, and I mean, everyone's so excited. I love the songs that they sang, the chants that they did. Some of the notable ones was this Jossie Zardes one, you know. And there was also a CREWF, New England, we are the crew. I mean, I've never actually heard something like that before, and never really heard something very hostile in an MLS match towards an opposing team, which I loved. It gives us more sense of a rivalry and passion and hatred towards whatever team we're playing. But the awkward thing is, I like the Ribs. You guys know me. I like the New England Revolution, so I wasn't going to root against them per se, but I wasn't necessarily rooting for them.
When the imposter is us.
However, Tajon Buchanan, my guy from Syracuse, scored the very first goal at lower.com field, and it went silent after, but then you just had me like Tajon, let's go, Tajon.
That wasn't really hyped. When we play NBA, that's hyped.
Oh, thank God I did not get kicked out of the Nordecke. But I had to be happy for my boy Tajon. Then he got the assist, and it is 2-0 in the match. New England looks like they're going to get those 3 away points, but no. Jossie Zardes comes through, and it's 2-1. But then, later in the match, I forgot what minute, but it seemed to me that New England was playing so casual, and I literally said that to my friend Max, who was standing right next to me, and as that happens in the second half, the own goal happens. Andrew Farrell, Matt Turner colliding into each other, the ball goes in the net, and it's a 2-2 draw. Final score.
What just happened? What just happened? 2-2.
It was great. I also got to meet some This Week in MLS fans while I was there. Shout out to Corbin. Shout out to Crew 96 Edits. They were awesome to me. And I loved meeting people in different cities who are supporting their local soccer club. And being a part of that experience was just so phenomenal and so special to me, because I look at different places across the country and their supporter groups and seeing how passionate they are about their club, the league, and it keeps reminding me like why I do what I do, why I want to do what I do. And I just want to say shout out to the Nordecke for setting this up. Shout out to Ty Phillips specifically, who set this all up, and everyone who was involved, whether I met you or not, Columbus. You guys were awesome, and I definitely cannot wait to come back, maybe for a Hell is Real Derby. I'm just blown away by the experience, the best atmosphere I've ever seen. This was actually the first ever MLS match I've ever gone to, not in Los Angeles. I've been to soccer matches in different countries. I've been to USL matches, but this was the first MLS match in a new city, and you guys just blew me away. Anyways, from the bottom of my heart, thank you, Columbus, and I'm the LSO This Week in MLS, and this has been This Week in Columbus. I'll see you guys in the next video.
Ricochet is the GOAT. Ricochet is the GOAT. Ricochet is the GOAT. Ricochet is the GOAT. So.
I'll see you guys in the next video.